Let us begin. Today is the 8th day of the first month, 9th year of Channel Group, February 19, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 현진 참부모님께 경배 바로 가중맹세
가정맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상천국과 천상천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
For the opening prayer, may I call our Brother Francis Lawrence Nolasco, the Director of the National Leadership Training Program.
Please join me in my prayer. Our loving Heavenly Parents and our victorious true parents of heaven and earth in humankind. Loving Heavenly Parents, thank you so much once again for this kind of life that we have, an opportunity that we could really fulfill again our responsibility. Heavenly Parents, this time we gather, even though in spite of pandemic, still we are here with all the brothers and sisters, our leaders still united, Heavenly Parents, centered to your vision and to your goal, Heavenly Parents, the ideal here in the physical world. Thank you so much for the hard work of our brothers and sisters, especially our leaders this time, Heavenly Parents, that still we are all intact and united, Heavenly Parents. To the hard work also of our national leader and all the leaders, Heavenly Parents, this time we are here, Heavenly Parents, as a family. Heavenly Parents, please join us for this gathering, for this morning devotion, Heavenly Parents, that even though we are in different places, Heavenly Parents, but still we can really live as one, as a family, Heavenly Parents. Heavenly Parents, this time we need to really receive again a guidance, inspiration, that we could really again motivate ourselves, and we could really find our purpose, that we could also understand more deeply our responsibility, Heavenly Parents. In behalf of the brothers and sisters and all the leaders, Heavenly Parents, we are so great, Heavenly Parents, that we could really receive the blessing to you, all the things that you give to us, Heavenly Parents, day by day, Heavenly Parents. But still we feel sorry, and I feel sorry, Heavenly Parents, for our shortcomings and limitation, Heavenly Parents. But still we can feel your love, Heavenly Parents, even though sometimes we are really stubborn and sometimes we cannot fulfill our responsibility. Forgive us, Heavenly Parents. We are so great because we have our true parents and we know the divine principle. We know that we could really understand more your heart. We can really fulfill more our responsibility because we have our two parents. But it's all about our effort and our responsibility if we will become responsible Heavenly Parents. This time we are preparing our heart with our brothers and sisters, with our leader, Heavenly Parents, our leaders and blessed families, Heavenly Parents, who can really become our own model to us. And we are here together that we could really receive again the heart of yours, Heavenly Parents, through the guidance of our leader, Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much, Heavenly Parents, for the life that we have. And time will come, Heavenly Parents, no worry. We are here always that we could really help you, that we could really fulfill our responsibility, Heavenly Parents, to support you, Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much to the life of our victorious two parents who really guide us and educate us, Heavenly Parents, how we could really become a real human being centered in you, us to become your children, Heavenly Parents, that we could really bring substantial victory to you, Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much for everything, for the loving care, and thank you so much for the life of those blessed families and all the leaders and brothers and sisters who really work hard in the providence, Heavenly Parents. No worry, Heavenly Parents, you are always here, Heavenly Parents, to make you happy because this is our destiny, Heavenly Parents, and our will also to make you happy, Heavenly Parents, in our purpose to make you happy, Heavenly Parents. Once again, I humbly report this prayer in my name with Italia and Francis Lawrence Nolasco as a blessed central couple family. Aju, aju, aju.
True. Let us offer our individual prayer. Let us offer our greetings to our Heavenly Parent True Parents. Good morning, Heavenly Parent True Parents, to our national leader. Good morning to all our leaders, elders, brothers and sisters. Good morning.
Morning. Ohayo gozaimasu.
Yes. You may now take your seat, brothers and sisters, in the center.
Morning.
Good morning to everyone. We will now begin our Hundok reading. For our Hundok reading, let us welcome our sister Crystal Parazon.
Okay, good morning, brothers and sisters. Let us continue our 21 minutes reading. Continuation from the Mother of Peace, Chapter 2. I came into this world as the only begotten daughter. I was molded from my conception to be the true mother who could devote her life to God's purposes. I see everything from that perspective: the Japanese colonial rule and Korean War, my childhood full of hardships, my family consisting of my maternal grandmother and mother, the Christian love that enveloped us day and night. I treasure it as a growing period designed by heaven. When all is said and done, my father played an essential role. I later learned that my father dedicated his life to education in South Korea, teaching in more than 16 schools over a period of 40 years and retiring as a principal. He was peacefully taken into God's embrace in the spring of 1978. A long time later, when our unification movement was building its international headquarters on Chongpyeong Lake, I learned that my father had taught at the Miwon Elementary School in the village of Sorak, a few kilometers from our complex. As I live at this location now, I take it that God's plan was to unite my father and me together in the end. God calls those whom he chooses. On the foundation of 6,000 turbulent years of God's providential history, the only begotten daughter came to this earth. Innumerable people waited impatiently, ignorant of what it was they were waiting for, having no concept of the only begotten daughter for the teachings of the world's religions. It was my husband who discovered that for God to bring forth his only begotten daughter, he needed to find a nation that had endured injustice for over 5,000 years and was now filled with devout Christians. That nation is Korea. From ancient times, Koreans loved peace and wore white clothing out of reverence for God and their forebears. The spirit of filial piety, loyalty, and chastity, which are the fundamental virtues of human life lives and breathes in the history of Korea. Moreover, historically speaking, Korea is a place where the world's religions have borne fruit. Even though its history of Christianity is not long, God chose it as a nation and people to whom he would send his only begotten daughter. Father Moon realized that God would work through a family in which the hearts of 3 generations of only daughters were connected in sacrificial faith. The Holy Spirit guided Father Moon to discover this in the Bible. No one else saw it. As these conditions were fulfilled, only then could the Mother of Peace, destined to bring about a peaceful world, be received on this earth. Every one of us needs to feel deeply grateful for being born. There is not one person whose birth is meaningless. Moreover, no person's life is his or hers alone. Heaven, earth, and all things in the universe interconnect through lines or latitude and longitude. Peace means that all the energies in the entire world and in the entire universe are in harmony. Therefore, no one should belittle his or her life. We should deeply realize that everyone is a precious being, born through the sacred workings of the universe. As for me, I was born in the midst of a world consumed by chaos, in which no light of hope was to be seen. The Second World War, set in motion in the autumn of 1939, was growing ever more intense. German fascism and Japanese imperialism were staining Europe and Asia with blood. With the exception of Britain, most nations in Europe had been trampled by Hitler. And even Britain was suffering constant air raids from Nazi Germany. The plight of Korea, a Japanese colony, was just as wretched. My warm childhood experiences notwithstanding, Koreans endured a tremendous struggle just to survive and find food to eat and clothes to wear. As the end of the war approached, Japanese soldiers raided Korean homes and confiscated everything metal, even the brassware used in ancestral rites to create weapons. All rice went to feed Japanese soldiers, with the Korean people left to starve. Farmers who harvested rice with their own hands did not get to eat even a morsel of that rice. Japan went as far as to ban the use of Hangul, the Korean alphabet that encompasses the spirit of its people, and to force us to renounce our Korean names and adopt Japanese names. All young Korean men were drafted either to fight on battlefields far from home or to work long hours in coal mines and factories. Even in the midst of such hardships, our people set forth to reclaim our nation in 1940. Koreans set up offices of the provincial government of the Republic of Korea in Chongqing, China, and established the Independence Army. These patriots believed that the expropriation of Korea was only temporary and had a firm resolve to liberate their fatherland. While the war raged on, in April 1941, Korean independence movement organizations abroad came together at the Christian Academy in Kalihi in Honolulu, Hawaii. At a rally for the Korean people, representatives from 9 organizations, including the Korean National Association in North America, the Korean National Association in Hawaii, and the Korean National Independence League, pledged with one heart to fight the Japanese military for the liberation of their homeland. On January 1st, 1942, 1 year before I was born, representatives of 26 allied nations gathered in Washington, D.C. They signed a declaration pledging to end the war and then work together toward peace. This created the opportunity for Korea, which had been invaded and colonized by Japan, to regain its independence. From the viewpoint of God's hand that rules history, this was his preparation to ensure that the only begotten daughter would grow to maturity in a nation with its own sovereignty. Decades earlier, in March 1919, grandmother Jo Wonmo took to the streets carrying my mother, Hong Sun-ae, then 5 years old, and desperately cried out for independence. She did so knowing only by faith that she was making preparations for the birth of the only begotten daughter. The world and its people endured great suffering in the year 1942 for the same purpose. In a late spring week that year, my father and mother finally spent some time together, and I was conceived. Christianity and the only begotten daughter. From the moment of the fall, God worked his providence to send his beloved only begotten Son and daughter to humankind. After many foundations were laid, some bearing fruit, others claimed by Satan, his plan developed dramatically in Korea. From the early 1900s, spiritual fires flared up among Pentecostal Korean Christians who received guidance about God's providence. Many groups believed that the returning Lord would appear in Pyongyang. Exemplary among these was a particular lineal succession of churches: the New Jesus Church, led by Reverend Lee Hyung-do, the Holy Lord Church, led by Reverend Kim Song-do, and the Inside the Womb Church, so named to emphasize that the returning Lord would be born of a woman, led by Reverend Ho Ho Bin. All three overcame oppression, on one side from the non-Christian government, and on the other from the mainstream denominations. Amid such pressures, these churches completed the Christian foundation to receive the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter. The Eastern Korean Peninsula, upon which the sun first rises, is a region of mountains, and the Western Peninsula, where the sun sets, is a region of valleys. Following the principles of geomancy, spiritual works led by men unfolded in the mountains of the east at Wonsan in Hamgyong province, and spiritual works led by women unfolded in the valleys of the west at Cholsan in Pyongan province. Representative among such women were Kim Songdo of the Holy Lord Church and Ho Ho Bin of the Inside the Womb Church. Representative among the men who ignited spiritual works were evangelist Wang Gukju, Reverend Baek Namju, and Reverend Lee Yongdo of the New Jesus Church. My mother grew up in the mainstream Presbyterian Church, but my grandmother connected to various spirit-led groups, and when the time was right, introduced her spiritual life to my mother. Long before Korea's liberation in 1945, my grandmother and mother both offered fervent devotions, lived a life of self-sacrifice, and served others with perseverance, with their sole focus being on receiving the Lord at His second advent. In those days, Wang Gukju, with some 50 followers, set out from Qingdao, northeast China, on a pilgrimage across the Korean peninsula. They witnessed to their faith, ate nothing but flour mixed with water, and performed miracles at revival meetings. The Holy Spirit often came to the evangelist's sister, Wang Oncha. She, as well as Reverend Lee Yongdo, a local pastor, whom she had met at one of their revivals, deeply impressed my mother, who joined their pilgrimage. Mother walked with them on their witnessing journey from Anju all the way to Shinyuji near the border with China. They preached God's word as they went. Politically speaking, it was a fearful age, for anyone who so much as alluded to the existence of the Korean people could be arrested by the Japanese police. But the group's services were so powerful that even police detectives sent to spy on the meetings would be deeply moved. The witnessing journey was not a pleasure trip. It was a course filled with hardships. They had nothing but the clothes on their backs, and the residents of the villages were just as destitute. Nonetheless, these believers walked as many as 40 kilometers every day and night, and lit the fire of the Holy Spirit in every village they visited. My mother made the journey through Shiniju and on to Gangye, arriving there on the 100th day of their pilgrimage. At that point, the witnessing team sought to cross the border with China into Manchuria, but this proved to be impossible and they returned home. By the time they returned to Anju, Reverend Lee Hyungdo had established a congregation called the New Jesus Church. My mother decided to join that church and invest her revitalized life of faith. Reverend Lee Hyungdo, formerly of the Presbyterian Church, was not a healthy man. He sometimes would vomit blood and collapse during revival meetings. He created the founding council of the New Jesus Church in Pyongyang, but before he could do more, he passed away at the young age of 33 in Wonsan. After his funeral, the New Jesus Church began again under the leadership of Reverend Lee Ho-bin. Aju.
Let us give a hand to our Heavenly Parents and to our Sister Crystal for reading. Thank you so much, Ate Crystal. Now we will proceed to the 10 points of gratitude sharing. Now let us welcome our brother, Kuya Ruel Galit.
Hello po everyone. Narinig po ba ako?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much po.
Yes po. Rinig po.
Salamat po. So, good morning po to our beloved national leader, Sir Leo Angelo Halog, to our leaders, elders, brothers and sisters. Good morning po. Before I speak and share my 10 points of gratitude, I would like first to introduce myself. My name is Roberto Chavez Galit. I am currently now doing my mission here in NLTP National Leadership Training Program Philippines as Assistant Director. And I'm happy and proud about that one. Happily, I am keep on fighting and being brave for this mission. To be honest, I'm really grateful for this opportunity to extend and to share with you my 10 points of gratitude. First, I would like to give my gratefulness to Heavenly Parent because He allowed me day by day to experience and understand His heart. And He helped me to realize many things, especially how I could value this life, how I could connect this life for the sake of others. Second, I would like to give my gratefulness to true parents because they are the one who really stand as our model to become responsible citizen who could help God to realize His will here on earth. And because of true parents, I changed a lot. I changed many things in a good ways. I experienced many things that I could feel the real meaning of happiness. I know some of activities here in movement is quite challenging, but our true parents really showed to us that we we need to have a spirit of never give up. That's why I'm really grateful about that one true parents. Especially this moment, our true mother is really working so hard. So I need to have this kind of determination to really work so hard also for the mission that I have for this moment. Third, I would like to give my gratefulness to all leaders because they helped me so much, especially in my growings and my life of faith, especially to those leaders who really helped me, who mold me to become like this. Um, thank you so much, leaders, for your sacrifices. I know it's not an easy thing to do, the one that you really giving guidance, educate the members. This time I can feel your situation before. That's why every time I feel struggle, I keep on thinking kung kaya po ng leaders ko po before, kakayanin ko pa po ngayon. Kaya po, I'm really grateful for your sacrifices. Don't you worry, I will keep on being positive about this mission, and I will do my best to really guide the members, our members here in NLTP. So for it, I would like to give my gratefulness to my spiritual family, especially to my spiritual mother, si Azalea Negrida. She's now in Japan. I know you're so much busy about many things, but hindi po kayo nakalimot na mag-leave po ng message, mga positive messages po sa akin para mag-lift up yung spirit ko. Thank you so much because you really allowed me to be here and to witness and to know true parents. Without you, spiritual mother, I cannot be here. I cannot really change na yung sinasabi ko yung changes sa sarili ko po. Salamat po. Maraming salamat po sa opportunity na ibinigay niyo po. Na kahit po wala po kayo, even though you're not here with me, but you are always feel to me that we are really close together. Parang nandito ka lang po sa puso ko, kaya I'm really grateful for you. And fourth, a fifth, to my biological family, thank you so much po. Because you allowed me, you give me permission to be here in this movement, especially this moment po sa father ko po, si Tatay Rolly. I can see my sacrifices. For the information of everyone po, yung tatay ko po nasa center po siya dito sa NLTP. Then I can see the changes of Tatay Rolly. I'm really grateful for that. To the point that he stopped yung bishop po niyang pag-iinom. Kaya hoping that he could really continue po yung ganyang spirit, ganyang determination. Kaya grateful ako. Sa tatay ko po talaga kasi he allowed himself to know true parents also and to understand kung ano nga ba yung situation ko. Sometimes he is really looking forward to for the financial support, but thank you so much kasi he understood my situation. He never complained po. Kaya yun po, grateful po ako sa iyo. Keep on fighting. Don't you worry. I will help you to know more about your parents, about divine principle. Kaya fighting lang po pa. Next po sa my ancestors. I'm really grateful to my ancestors. To be honest, I can feel the presence of my ancestors, especially when I do my mission po talaga. Every time, sometimes, syempre tayo, it's a normal thing po na minsan nakaka-feel po tayo ng antok. Sometimes parang they push me, okay, don't fall asleep, Ruel. You still have responsibility to do. Kaya sometimes din po they really guide me. That's why thankful po ako sa kay Ate Wilma, um, because she will help me to really liberate my ancestors from first to 7 generations po. Thank you so much po. Especially to the side of my mother po. Thank you so much to my ancestors. Don't you worry, I will bring this good fortune centered on Heavenly Parent and True Parents. And the next one po, I would like to give my gratefulness to my spouse. She is my strength actually. Um, she is isa sa mga reason why I keep on fighting about this mission. Even though, to be honest, hindi po siya magaling mag-English, but it's not about the language, it's about the heart, it's about the training that you've been through, the purpose why you join a blessing. So I'm really thankful kasi sa sponsor kasi mean sometimes hindi ko po talaga siya nabibigyan ng oras, but she really understood.
Kuya, na-unmute po kayo.
Sana po. So yun po, for this moment I would like to give my gratefulness to my spouse. Even though po na hindi kami minsan nagkakaintindihan po in language, but I can feel her heart to really wanted to connect and to make an ideal family centered on Heavenly Parent and True Parents. So thankful ako kasi siya po sa mga strength ko why I keep on fighting for this journey, for this kind of mission. Kaya laban lang po. Then kung lalaban ka, lalaban din po ako. Next po, I would like to give my gratefulness to NLTP family, my brothers and sisters. As I can see po yung determination nila, especially this pandemic po eh. I can see my spirit before sa kanila na even though nahihirapan sila, they keep on moving and fighting for the missions that they have. Especially po yung our leaders po dito, sila Sir Francis and Ate Italia. Thank you so much po talaga for really guiding us so much to the point na parang wala na po silang time sa isa't isa, but they extend their love po sa amin. They really guiding us so much. To the point na parang sometimes if they cry, parang sinisisi ko sarili ko, parang kasalanan ko to. Parang parang ganun po. Kaya I'm really grateful po sa kanila for their sacrifices po to really guide us, to really support us, especially in how we could really connect ourselves, how we could really connect our future to Heavenly Parent and True Parents. The next po, yung mga friends ko po dyan, yung mga IPLC graduates po dyan, mga alumni, thank you so much po. Kasi you are giving me message, cheer up, pero well, then you are always there. Every time I see you doing mission there, wherever you are, I keep on fighting po talaga. Kaya thank you so much po mga graduates po ng IPLC na nagmi-mission po ngayon. I'm hoping na ma-encourage po natin yung ibang graduates po na lumabas na po. Sana ma-encourage po natin sila na bumalik po and mag-mission po for God and your parents. And lastly po, I would like to give my gratefulness to myself. Thank you so much myself for believing that you can do it, that you can sacrifice more for God and your parents. Thank you so much for your determination myself, because despite of the challenges that you encountered, you are always there. You are keep on being positive. Um, Please do more myself and be grateful always, and don't you worry, God and your parents always with you. Yun po, thank you so much for this opportunity to really share and extend my 10 points of gratitude. I know this 10 points is not really enough to really give my gratefulness, but thank you so much for your hard work, brothers and sisters, and especially to our leaders. Well, thank you so much, God and your parents. Adieu.
Yes, thank you so much, Kuya Ruel, for sharing your 10 points of gratitude. Let us give a hand to our Kuya Ruel Gali. He is one of the commander or leader in National Leadership Training Program. Thank you, Kuya Ruel, for sharing. Now, for more inspiration and guidance, let us welcome our beloved national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Halo.
Thank you very much, our sister Yab. Good morning to our heavenly parent and true parents, to all our ancestors and our true father, and all those who are in the spiritual world who are with us today and all the time. And of course, to our beloved leaders, to Dr. and Mrs. Kittle, thank you so much for always joining us. Our Sir Julius, Reverend Ronnie, and all our La Central families and brothers and sisters. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Inyong Hashimnika, Ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah, I'm really happy to and excited every day for our Hinduke, seeing all our beloved brothers and sisters. Now we are reaching in Zoom 200, more than 200 brothers and sisters, but many are joining, participating in their centers. So maybe around 400 brothers and sisters are joining together. And we are really grateful to Heavenly Parent and True Parents. So thank you so much to our brother Ruel sharing his points of gratitude, really very sincerely. And also I'm grateful to our young brothers and sisters in NLTP. They're really doing their best, training themselves very well, and always thinking about how can they contribute and help in the Providence. Heavenly Parents and True Parents is happy to see our young brothers and sisters really investing and really doing their best. Thank you so much for all your hard work. So I would like to congratulate our IAYSP yesterday, our Sir Ronnie, of course, our beloved Sir Julius gave very good presentation about UPF yesterday in our meeting at our headquarters yesterday. As what I've said, yes, po, yesterday morning we had the meeting with the National Youth Commission, and then Commissioner Cardema suddenly came to HQ. We are not actually expecting him to come physically to attend in our headquarters. We're expecting him to join by Zoom. But suddenly he arrived, he came, and then he was amazed with our headquarters. "Oh, you have a very beautiful place here," he said. And then he was very inspired, and really I'm grateful to Dr. Kittle, really guiding all of us, our YSP, Sir Ronnie, I'm really grateful, and Sir Rene, lahat po ng staff natin sa YSP and officers natin. They really worked very hard. They invested very so much, and then our young brothers and sisters, they gave very nice presentations. Si Brother Jude, he gave the presentation about victory over communism. Commissioner Cardema was so inspired, and he said, "I will going to research more about Father Moon." I didn't know he has this kind of teaching. So also our sister Nikki and sister Ella. Really amazing. Now, yesterday was really a great miracle. So napanood nyo naman po siguro yung video niya. I think they shared. He said, the best organization in our nation is YSP. This is the best youth organization. He was really inspired. So yun po, now we are now working with the government. Really, that's why Dr. Kittle said if True Mother were going to hear this, True Mother will be very, very happy. Kaya po, really, the entire spiritual world is really working and really now with us. Thank you so much for all your prayers, all our brothers and sisters. Really, we are now living in God's time, in God's direct dominion. If we really unite and work together with one mind and one heart, with one goal, for sure we can really bring this nation to heavenly parents and to true parents. So once again, I really appreciate all your prayers and all your support. We are really one for our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you so much. Yeah, so this morning I would like to share with you this topic entitled so today I would like to share this topic entitled Inner Enlightenment. Yeah, so because of the fall, we were all, ignorant. That's why all people are, looking for enlightenment. We want to be enlightened, right? That's why Buddha, when we talk about Buddha, Buddha means the enlightened one. That's why actually all people needs to experience that experience of Buddha, right? We all need to be enlightened. How can we experience inner enlightenment? So many people, that's why people are joining from one religion to another. They are trying to find, right? That's why in this world, the only permanent is change. What is the main reason? People are trying to, find where they can be enlightened, where they can eliminate their ignorance. People continue to study, right? All these things actually towards how can we be enlightened. That's why all people are trying to do their best. So true parents really is guiding us, every step from, today true father want to guide us about this. So I would like to begin this presentation. True father said, we need to be united with our original mind. Whatever difficulties you face, do not ask others, but ask your own conscience. When you pray, do not pray vaguely. God gave you an original mind, so you should be united with that precious gift. Once you are united with it, you will know everything about yourself. Once you have cultivated your heart and mind, you can be tuned to God's heart and mind. That's why True Father said, restoration is possible even though we, like many people are like seeing the situation now like there's no hope. But there is hope, surely. Why? What is the main reason? Because human beings has original mind. God, this is, God within us, our original mind. So Father said, whenever we have difficulties, actually, of course, we need some guidance, someone to help us. If really our original mind is too much, covered by our evil nature, and then it's not like, properly working, right? But our original mind is within us. So Father said, if you have difficulties, you have to ask your own conscience. You have to ask your original mind. That's why prayer is important. That's why Father said, do not pray vaguely. So Father said, God gave you an original mind, so you should be united with that precious gift. So once we are united with our original mind, once we have cultivated our heart, Father said, our mind, then that is the time we can be able to be tuned to God's heart and mind. So that's why we who knows the principle, why we started to pray, why we started to, meditate, we are again reawakening our original mind and really make it really function naturally. If Adam and Eve didn't commit the fall, our original mind really will function fully. And then we will know everything. Father said here, right? If you, once you are united with it, with your original mind, you will know everything about yourself. No need to ask, anybody. Naturally, you will know everything. But because of the fall, our original mind couldn't function very well, right? That's why we have to pray. All religions are teaching you have to pray. You need to call on to God. We have to, reawaken and empower again our original mind that it will be connected to God's heart and mind. And then we will know everything. True Father said, it is your task to find your original mind. Even though I am your teacher, my teachings cannot connect you eternally to God. It is your task to find your original heart. You have to hear the calling of heaven through your mind's ears. You have to see the divine nature through your mind's eyes. You have to feel the heart of heaven through your mind's senses. So it is very clear. Father taught us about the portion of responsibility. Even though how eager Heavenly Parent wanted us to go back to Him, Father is telling here, even though I am your teacher, my teachings cannot connect you eternally to God. It is your task to find your original heart. So it is our task, Father said. Of course, we have our leaders, our elders, guiding us, right? But even though they are all of them guiding us, if we will not do our responsibility, we cannot find our original mind. We cannot find and recover our original mind, right? We cannot find our original heart. That's how important it is. That's why our effort every day is very, very important. So we cannot just depend to someone. Sometimes we are doing these things because of someone else. Because my brother is here. My best friend is here. That's why I am here. Then you can never find, your liberation. You cannot really grow and develop if you always rely to someone. Even to God, we cannot just rely to Heavenly Parent. Even to true Father, to true parents. Right? Of course, true parents, they are our model. We will not do our part, they cannot do anything. Even Heavenly Parent cannot do anything. That's why it is our responsibility. Father said, you have to hear the calling of heaven through your mind's ears. You have to see the divine nature through your mind's eyes. You have to feel the heart of heaven through your mind's senses. That's why it is fully our responsibility how we are living our life every day with all the guidance of true parents, with all the words every day, every morning. We learn, we listen, but how to apply this in our life? This is the question. And no one can help us about this, right? This is only our own responsibility. If we cannot fulfill this, we cannot even, give it to other people. We have to fulfill this no matter what. Otherwise, it will be additional burden to our descendants. That's why no matter what, we have to fulfill, we have to be enlightened. We have to, reawaken our original mind and be able to hear, Father said, God's calling of heaven. We need to listen God's voice. That's why whenever, we become, sometimes people are thinking, sometimes we become so spiritual. Actually, it's not about being spiritual. Originally, we are a spiritual being, but, our original nature, if only Adam and Eve didn't fall, naturally we can hear, the voice of heaven. And then we can see, things divinely based on God's eyes. And then, we can, feel, the heart that is connected to the heart of heaven. This is our original nature. But we lost all this. We became ignorant because of the fall. That's why now it is our task, Father said. It is our responsibility. No one can help you. Only people, even true parents, can just guide us, right? But it is our full responsibility. That's why it is our task, Father said, to find and recover your original mind, the God within you, within us. Heavenly Parents is with us, right? That's why this is our responsibility. Father said, our minds are just precious as God. We have thought that God was the only precious existence. But now we should understand that our minds are just as precious. By finding the nucleus of your mind, you can attain the high standard of value by which God can make a relationship with you. Otherwise, how can you be in alignment with heaven's principles? So, Father said, our minds are just precious as God. So, as people are, longing for Heavenly Parent, they're trying to find God everywhere. But the same eagerness we need to have in finding and recovering our original mind. This is the God built in us, right? So that's why Father said, now we should understand that our minds are just as precious as Heavenly Parent. So what we are doing in our everyday life, awaken and recover our original mind. Father said, by finding the nucleus of your mind, you can attain the high standard of value by which God can make a relationship with you. That's why our everyday life, what are we doing to really awaken our original mind, to really, feel that, right? And then heavenly parents can, can be with us, and then we can really be one and have relationship with our heavenly parent. This heaven, parent and child relationship, this should be intact and very strong. This is the center of the universe, right? That's why by recovering, doing our best every day to awaken and recover our original mind, we can really build that relationship with our heavenly parent. Father said, we have to awaken the elements that lie at the nucleus of the mind. Today's believers frequently take comfort from their conceptual beliefs, and their world of faith. Yet fallen, our minds contain elements of the ideal of creation by which we can commune with the eternal God. What, after all, is the purpose of prayer? Why do Buddhists seek a state of emptiness through Zen meditation? It is to awaken the elements that lie at the nucleus of the mind. So there is, what Father is saying, there is an element, that lie at the nucleus, at the center of our mind. We need to awaken that element. That's why, Buddhist tradition, they always do this, Zen meditation. That's why Buddha, always practice meditation. What is the main purpose of this? Right? That's why all of us also. So Father said, although we are fallen human beings, our minds contain elements of the ideal of creation by which we can commune with the eternal heavenly parent, with the eternal God. That's why, because we are the embodiment of heavenly parent, actually we resemble God. Right? We are a small God. That's why in the midst, in the center, in the nucleus of our mind, Father said, the ideal of creation is there. We just need to, awaken this original mind. That's why we need to touch the center of our mind, the nucleus, based on, what we are doing, how we are living our life. And then through prayer, through meditation, we can awaken that, we can touch the nucleus, and then we can, see based on God's, eyes. And then it will be awakened because we are God's, creature, and then creation, and then we are one with our heavenly parent. We resemble our heavenly parent. So in us, there is, Father said, the ideal of creation. That's why, we can see many people who are idealistic. We can see, even though they are not members of our church, right? They have this in their mind. Why? Why is that? Because in us, we have this, original ideal. It was just, things just became vague because of the fall. We lost our connection to our origin, to our heavenly parent. That's why Father said we need to awaken the elements that lie at the nucleus of our mind. This is our responsibility. So Father said, you need to become one with God. Shakyamuni Buddha said, in heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one. In what state did he teach this? If you were to enter that state of resonance, you would become one with God. In that state, you would be able to see thousands of years of human history unfold before your eyes. You would experience yourself as having that incredible value. That's why once we become one with Heavenly Parent, really amazing, Father said, you will going to see even, thousands of years of human history unfold before your eyes. You would experience yourself as having that incredible value. Because of the fall, human beings became completely separate from Heavenly Parent. That's why we are thinking people who could be able to do some, high level of things, we are thinking this is like magic, certain, magical. But actually, it's not. As human beings, as sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent, if we are one with Heavenly Parent, because we are spiritual beings, we can, like true parents, you can see clearly the entire spiritual world, right? You can see clearly. True parents are, they are the Messiah, but even us, we are also Messiah. Once we reach that state, Heavenly Parent doesn't limit us what we can reach. Heavenly Parents actually wanted us to really complete oneness with Him, where we can see and perceive things based on Heavenly Parents' standard, that kind of level. That's why Father said, if you experience this, you will experience yourself as having that incredible value. And then even you will going to see things that you could never see and experience before. But because, human beings are fallen and then they separated clearly themselves from God. That's why God is like very far from us. But it's not, right? That's why once we become one with Heavenly Parent, that's how lucky we are living in this time. Once we become one with Heavenly Parent, even actually, we learn in the time of Jesus that He is healing people. Actually, we can do that our own. Once we become one with Heavenly Parent, right? We can heal people. Even Father mentioned that. We can heal people. We can heal our members. So that's why in our community, in our region, if we, as, spiritual leaders, as people who follow true parents, once we reach that level and standard, we can heal people. We can heal brothers and sisters. That's why we are praying for brothers and sisters sometimes. Right? It's not just an empty prayer. Once we are, becoming closer and closer to Heavenly Parent, we can see everything based on God's perspective. How amazing it is. That's why our goal is to really become one with Heavenly Parent and reach that level, right? Really amazing. We are sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent. Originally, we have to be one with our Heavenly Parent. Aju? Aju. Father said, we have to receive training. How can we humans escape from the painful cycle of suffering, life after life? How can we escape from our miserable life's destiny that ends in the cemetery? This is the homework given to each of us. In order to solve this, we have to receive training to enter the realm of resonance. As fallen human beings, that's why how much true Father trained himself and then train others. I heard many testimonies of our elder members how true Father is dealing with them. How Father is very strong. That especially young people, they need to go through training. Father said, I am pushing you not because I wanted, but I am preparing you. Because we are living in this kind of world. Father is saying, how can we escape in this cycle of life that is filled with suffering? No one else on earth yet could find the solution. Not having many material things, many people are rich. Are they happy? They are even the ones, committing suicide most of the time. So this is just life cycle that people, the life cycle ends in cemetery. Their destiny, they are thinking that life is just like this. They started from birth and then end in cemetery. And then this life from womb to tomb is filled with so much suffering. Who will going to end this life cycle? So what is the meaning and value of life if the cycle is just like this? It has no meaning, right? That's why Father said, this is our homework. So how to solve this life cycle? Father said, we have to receive training. We have to receive training. That's why our life is a life of training. Not only while you are single, we are having training to prepare for the blessing. That's why true parents created this very clear formula course. And then your life's training doesn't end once you receive your matching or you were blessed. After blessing, again another training. Actually, our life is continuous training. Continuous training. That's why without preparing from this level, going up to the next level, you will have difficulties. You will have problems. You will be in trouble. That's why I always compare our life to computer games. As you go to the next level when you are a fan of playing computer games, level 1 is quite easier. Level 2, becoming more challenging. Level 3, level 4, level 5. Life is like that. Life is like that. We need to prepare. As we move to the next level, we have to prepare. That's why many brothers and sisters, maybe we are thinking, anyway, you need to prepare now, and then you go to the next level of life, having family. You are thinking life will be easier. It's not. It's not. Life will be more challenging. You are going to have your spouse, and then later on, you are going to have your children. That's why every step is preparation. We have to prepare. We have to be trained. Every step of the way, every level of life, we have to be trained, right? That's why necessary, everybody needs to go through training. We need to be trained. This is our entire life. Even tayo po ngayon, Blessed family na tayo, still we have to train ourselves continuously. This is absolutely necessary. How much more, brothers and sisters, hindi sila magdadaan sa ganito. To start family, hindi madali. We know our Blessed families, mga 20 years, 30 years, 40 years na mag-asawa, they can give many testimonies about this. Entering in this relationship, not easy. That's why our young brothers and sisters, that's why sometimes tayo, mga leaders tayo, we push them to go through training. Kailangan nila to. As a father, as a mother, as a parent. If our children will not going through training, what are we expecting for them? Right? Can we continue to guide them later when they enter this relationship of, having their own family? Father said the most difficult problem now is how to build ideal families. Problems of young people and how to build ideal families. That's why, in other guidance of Father, sabi ni Father, why people cannot build ideal family? Because they didn't go through formula course. They didn't do fundraising. They didn't do witnessing. What is the purpose of this? For training them so that later they can build good families. That's why we are very fortunate people. We could go through such course, right? If we couldn't go through this course, what is the assurance that we can build good families? Even thus family can be separated, right? Even thus family, we could see already. That's why Father said, absolutely, everybody needs training. We need to go through training continuously in our life. That's why this is our homework, how to end this cycle. Right? People are, miserable. We can see everywhere. Whatever their status in life, they are suffering. Right? That's why, what is the core that we need to discover? How to end this suffering. How to end this pitiful cycle of life. Right? That's why we are very lucky. Even though we don't have much now, that everything that all people outside are really longing for, but we are happy. Right? We could see the solution, how to end this cycle of suffering. We are really thankful to our beloved true parents, right? That's why we have to teach people. We have to guide people. Our children also, our second generation, our young brothers and sisters. We have to help them. We have to always look on God's perspective, right? We have to always look. Even me as a parent, personally, I'm thinking later on how my children could stand on their own. They need to go through certain life training so that they can be mature, they can take ownership, they can take care of their own families. They can really become good father, they can become good mother, they can build good families that the world can see and follow. Aju, we are really, really thankful to Heavenly Parents and to our beloved true parents. Father said, we must establish the mind over body. When mind and body have the same power, they fight. We must establish the mind over the body. There are two ways, Father said. The first way is by weakening the body through conditions such as fasting, prayer, vigils, etc. And then to drag about the weakened body for several months. This is really important. Even though the providence has advanced already, we are not anymore in the indemnity era. That's why when we do condition, the purpose changed. But it doesn't mean even the condition, you don't need to do conditions anymore. It's not proper, it's not right, it's not proper understanding. The era has changed. When we do things before, in the indemnity era, it's indemnity. But now not anymore. Not anymore indemnity, but still we need to do such conditions. Father said, when mind and body are in the same power, they fight. So we need to do some strategies so that our mind will be over the body, right? Otherwise, big problem. So there are two ways, Father said. First one is to weaken the body through conditions. That's why we are doing fasting. Continuously we need to do. We need to do vigil prayers and full bow conditions, all these things. If you know yourself, my body is so strong, always overpower my original mind. So I need to do condition. I need to weaken this body, right? I need to strengthen my mind. So anyway, this is the first one. Conditions are necessary. Shower conditions. Our young brothers and sisters, especially now, the internet, this is one, existence of Satan. When you look at the internet, can you imagine your young children, our young children, if we cannot guide them very well, what can they see in the internet? What are they seeing there? Right? So these things, really destroys their, original mind. And then the more desire of the body, the more yung body nagiging malakas. That's why conditions are absolutely needed. Kailangan talaga natin yan. Hindi yung kapag inantok ka, matulog ka, pag nagutom ka, kumain ka, then they will become like animals. That's why even though, brothers and sisters, even though the era has changed, only that indemnity has ended. Totoo yun. But still, the practices we need to still do. Still, the body didn't change. Ganun pa rin. Still, fighting every day. Trying to put down our original mind. And body become the subject. Still, we are in this state of life. Right? That's why we need to do conditions continuously. Kaya tayo mismo pag alam natin, still, I'm in this level. I need to offer more condition. I need to be more serious. Otherwise, our life will always be in trouble. I will always suffer continuously. And then we will be in this very pitiful cycle of life. That's why we have to escape from this. Adyo? So sabi ni Father, so you do this condition and then to drag about weakened body for several months. Kaya nga, I remember one guidance that at least 7 months continuously to change our habit. Kaya nga kailangan natin, mga young members natin, brothers and sisters natin, we need to absolutely keep certain period in life practicing tradition, 7 months minimum, to change our fallen habit. Kailangan po natin ito. This is absolutely needed. So Father said, after a while, even when the body is comfortable, it will obey the mind out of its newly acquired habit. Kaya kailangan natin i-change ang habit natin. Can you imagine us, first, second generation, for 17, 18 years, we were guided by Satan, controlled by Satan. It's not easy to change our habit, the practice that we are doing for so many years. That's why, because of, the time we are living in ngayon, all the heavenly fortune are with us. If you are serious in doing your part, several months, you can change that Satan's tradition and practice that you are doing before. And then we can start to practice heavenly way. Aju, and then where our mind is on the top, in the subject position, we can make this proper order. This is really miracle. This is an unimaginable blessing that we have received. So Father said, if you reach that state, you will experience heaven's help, bringing you success in what you do. This is important. That's why our own power, we cannot overcome. We have to mobilize heaven's, power. Father said, the heaven's help, the spiritual world's help. How to do, how to mobilize. Sincerity, offering conditions. These are necessary. With only our power, already I learned many things. I'm intelligent person. I know what to do. This will not work. This will not work. We have to mobilize heaven's work by offering conditions continuously. Seriously, we are serious. Heavenly Parent, I want to change. I want to overcome these desires of my body. I will going to offer more. Then we can see miracle will take place. Heavenly Parents will work. Really amazing. Aju? That's why we have to establish this in ourselves, mind over body. This is the first one. And then second one. So Father said, that's the first one. We need to weaken our body. Second one, Father said, make continual efforts to give energy to the mind. So the second way is to establish the mind's dominion over the body, is to give more energy to the mind. Give more energy, sabi ni Father, to the mind. How to do this? So we need to make continual efforts to give energy to the mind. When these efforts accumulate to a certain point, the door of your mind will open. Once that door opens, you will gain immense power. How to strengthen our mind? Kaya nga ito, of course, una yung condition, we do all these conditions, and then how to strengthen our mind. Through efforts, we need to make continual effort, substantial. So we are doing, prayer, all these things, calling God, praying to God, but also we need to do something. We need to do, continuously. And then also our efforts are necessary to continue living for the sake of others, right? Continuously practicing, going beyond oneself. And then, through these accumulated efforts also we are doing. Father said, when these efforts accumulate to a certain point, the door of your mind
will open. Once that door opens, you will gain immense power. So if you strengthen the mind's power at least 3 times over, then you will have no problem with the body. People make many conditions in the religious life to focus the mind's power to lead the body. That's why how important it is. So that's why Father said these 2 conditions kailangan natin gawin. The spiritual one, we are doing spiritual conditions, prayer, bowing, fasting, all these things. But this is not enough. We need to do something, right? We need to go to our community. We need to educate people. We need to witness to people. And then we need to really live for others, sacrificing, we just sleep 3 hours, 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, because we are doing many things for other people, showing them that we are not just, teaching them some theological or theoretical things, but we are putting this into action. That's why true love in action, we have to really practice. Aju, that's why this continuous effort, even small things. I can learn, some testimonies I heard, like one Japanese sister going to the work, putting, garbage. These are things that will, small things that will be one day accumulated. It will open up our mind, right? It will open the door for our mind. Small things that we are doing for other people, this will be accumulated one day. That's why continuously, even though we are just cleaning sometimes, brothers and sisters, their mission sometimes is cleaning or cooking. These are very important. It doesn't matter how big your mission is, right? You have to value whatever you are doing. It will be accumulated slowly. These sacrifices you are doing, it will open up your mind. That's why these continuous efforts, sometimes you are doing really, sometimes some people, we wanted to do great things, but it's not continuous. Once in a while we do it, most important is constant effort, continual effort, even how small it is. It will be accumulated. That's why kaya nga tayo kahit sa tingin natin maliit lang yung ginagawa natin, naglilinis lang tayo, o nagluluto lang tayo, nagda-drive lang tayo, it doesn't matter. God is not looking of how big what you are doing, but God is looking with your sincerity, with our sincerity, with our continual efforts, right? And then one day you will going to see, you will gain so much power with your mind. Then your mind will be over the body. Aju? That's why these 2 things very important. Father said. So we have to realize on our own that we are sons and daughters of God. All religions teach this as the way to reach an advanced stage in the life of a human being. Following this way and centered in God's love, you will enter a realm of high dimension when you realize on your own that you are sons and daughters of God. That is why Buddha said, in heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one. A person who has attained enlightenment is the source of his own authority. That is why he has the right to boast of how precious he is. That's why Father said we have to realize on our own that we are sons and daughters of God. Many times we are saying, we are sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent. That is not enough. We have to realize on our own. We have to realize on our own how to realize that. Father said that we are really sons and daughters of God. That's why Buddha, Father said, because he could confirm that in himself. And then Father said, a person who has attained enlightenment is the source of his own authority. We can naturally feel, we have authority. We are really, representative of God. We have like certain power. If we realize this on our own, Father said, that's why our effort, our responsibility, it's not enough that, continuously people are just telling us, yeah, you are God's son, you are God's daughter. You have to prove on your own based on how you live your life, right? And the effort, accumulated effort that you are giving every day. And then you will confirm that I am God's son, I am God's daughter. Then you will feel you are the owner of this world like Heavenly Parent, right? Then we will fully, take responsibility. We feel that really all the things that in God's shoulder is also, we can feel that is also our own. That's why in this providence of Heavenly Parent, with true parents now, if we realize this on our own, we will always feel in our hearts, in our mind, that this is my responsibility. Restoring this world, liberating Heavenly Parent. This is my responsibility once we realize this point. Aju, this is really the way for us to become true owners. Once we realize that we are Heavenly Parents, sons and daughters, and then our parent, Heavenly Parents, is suffering. our true parents, our true mother, we will naturally take responsibility, even no one is telling us. Aju, this is the way. That's why on our own, we have to realize this through our continual efforts. Aju, and then we can really become heavenly parents, representative on this earth. And we will going to take full, responsibility and carry, take away from heavenly parent the ones that he's carrying on his shoulder. And we will take fully with greater determination and with all the authority given to us by our heavenly parent. Aju, that's why it's important to realize this on our own. Our efforts are absolutely needed. It's not enough that, we are just being guided by someone. It's important, but most importantly, how you take responsibility. You're 5%. No one can do that for you. Aju? That's why people who are very serious in living their life, you can see how much they're growing, how much they're developing. Naturally, everything is already given to us, all the heavenly fortune. If you do well this time, you will be amazed of how God will work in your life, how much you will grow, how much you will be mature, how much you develop your heart. Aju? That's why we have to really do our best no matter what. So Father said, you will gain great power in your mind. Once you attain spiritual enlightenment, you gain great power in your mind. Then if you yield to your body's desires, you will feel nauseous and want to vomit. A person who has attained the spiritual enlightenment has a strong mental power. Hence, his body follows the mind's desire automatically. Can you imagine? This is really amazing. Once we reach that level, Father said, if you yield to your body's desires, you will feel nauseous and want to vomit. You will going to feel already, once you start to follow your body, you will already feel differently. Like you wanted to vomit, Father said. Once you reach that level, naturally, our entire body, mind and heart will just follow automatically our mind's desire. We will truly resemble completely our heavenly parent once we have reached this level. Aju, this is really amazing. This is our goal. We are heavenly parents' children. This is what heavenly parents is expecting and waiting for us. It's not only true parents, right? Reach this level. That's why even in the Bible, we have to be perfect. But people couldn't explain how to do this in proper manner, in proper way, in substantial way. It's not just, things in the Bible. It's not just on the clouds. Our true parents explained very clearly how to do this, how to become heavenly sons and daughters of heavenly parent. Amazing guidance of true parents, right? That's why once we reach this level, our mind, reach this power, what will going to happen? Naturally, we cannot, yield to our body's desire. Automatically, we will follow our original mind. Once we reach spiritual enlightenment, Father said, that's why what should be our focus in this time of settlement? It's, of course, we are doing a lot of activities, but also you have to always continuously evaluate yourself. Focus on how to really achieve this enlightenment in ourselves and strengthen our mind, our mental power, right? And then we can naturally live freely, that without any control of Satan. People think they're free, they're doing everything on their own, but actually it's not. Satan is controlling us 24 hours. What is true freedom? It is completely free from Satan. We are living, centering on our original mind. We are only doing good things. So people who are doing their whatever they want, they are not free. Actually, they are imprisoned completely. Satan, we are like puppet. Father said, we are like puppet. The puppet, when we are playing, everything, in order for you to move, the ones who are controlling you, that is the ones needs to do something. That is Satan controlling us. This is like our status as fallen human beings. That's why how to separate from that. We need to strengthen our mind. Aju? Really amazing guidance of Father. So Father said, we are in the position to inherit everything. We are sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent. So by becoming a son or daughter who receives the unique love of God, you are in a position to inherit everything that is God's. Everything that belongs to Heavenly Parents belongs to us. We are Heavenly Parents' children. You realize that you are of yourself an elevated being. The path of every human being ends here in the realm of God's love. So where should our path go? Should be really resembling our Heavenly Parent. You know, really entering on the love of Heavenly Parent, become completely one. This is where our path ends, Father said. And then you will realize that you are of yourself an elevated being. We are holy and divine beings, like our Heavenly Parent. We are God's children, right? That's why we have to inherit everything. Everything that God created is for us, for His children. How to inherit all these things? We have to enter in resonance with God's love. By doing these two things, we have to really, unite our mind, our body. This is really the key of everything. We have to experience enlightenment. So doing these two things, it's important. We have to do conditions. And then we have to continue live for others. These two things is important. We can be one with Heavenly Parent. Really amazing guidance of our true parents today. Right? That's why really to build kingdom of heaven, we have to really raise up heavenly children of Heavenly Parent who has this very clear alignment of our mind and body. We're all of us living in accordance with our original mind. And then naturally, kingdom of heaven will come about on earth first and in the kingdom of heaven. Aju, very clear guidance of true parents. It's not, an empty, and vague teaching. It's very clear. We know how to do step by step. That's why if we just do this with all our heart and sincerity, we can truly realize on our own that we are Heavenly Parents' children. We are Heavenly Parents, sons and daughters, and we can inherit everything. Aju? So with this, I would like to thank you all, brothers and sisters, and may Heavenly Parents' love and blessings always be upon you and your families. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you so much, our national leader, Reverend Lay Angela Halog. Let us give a hand first to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents for that wonderful message this morning, and to our beloved national leader, Reverend Lay Angela Halog. Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful message. Now, let us proceed to our reflection sharing. Allow me to call from our elders first. May I invite Tita Elna Coronado to share? Let us welcome our Tita Elna Coronado. Naka-mute po kayo, Tita.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm really inspired of our national leader in the Philippines. Thank you so much for the message, and to all our leaders, our brothers and sisters. So I know that your sacrifices there, it's not easy, but because of our faith and our sacrifices to Heavenly Parents and True Parents, we truly overcome all of this trials for us. So I'm not sometimes I really feel concerned with all our brothers and sisters there because of some difficulties and some of our financial. So it's really feel sad here in Korea also, how to help all our brothers and sisters who needs financials. And also thank you so much for those leaders are truly trying hard to overcome all of this kind of responsibility, our mission. So I know that this is not easy for us. So also, my responsibility also here in Korea is not also easy because sometimes because of financial. So, but because of our faith, we truly overcome all of this kind of challenges in our life of faith. So without our conditions like fasting and everyday hondoke, we cannot overcome all of this. So I hope and pray that other members who are not fulfill all their goals and their responsibility to heavenly parents, especially a vertical position of our life of faith. We hope and pray that we can be able to fulfill this until 2027. So thank you so much for all the leaders who are truly working hard to NL, to all the leaders there in the Philippines. I know that True Mother very trusted our brothers and sisters there, our leaders. And I know that you can be able to fulfill the goals centered to our true parents. So without our sacrifices, we cannot fulfill all our goals. So that's it. And thank you so much to all of you there. We really miss you. And I am planning to build my Trinity maybe soon. So I hope that I can be able to donate this to heavenly parents and true parents. So that's it. And thank you so much to all of you there. Thank you so much. It's enough. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much po, Tita Elna, for sharing. Let us give our love and appreciation to our Tita Elna Coronado.
Thank you so much.
Now, let us also hear from our young leaders for some reflection. Let us welcome our sister, Nikki Jerusalem.
Yes, thank you so much, Ate Yeb, for calling me. First of all, good morning, Heavenly Parents and to parents, and also my respect and gratitude also to our national leader, our SRLA, for giving us a very important and also, I think, also great reminder, guidance, especially for us young members. Me personally, I was moved about this topic, inner enlightenment. I guess all of us have came here because we are enlightened internally. And also for me, I am deeply grateful that I was also led and trained by my leaders before, also firmly and strongly. I guess I really agree that training is really very important. I would also like to grab this opportunity to appreciate my leaders, especially before when I'm still in the university. Because of their love and because of their guidance also, I am able to really grow, especially spiritually. Also, thank you to Daddy Edmond and also Mami Natsuki. Thank you so much for your love and guidance. I believe that also through your strong and firm guidance to me and to all of us there in Iligan Center, I am able to overcome and I am able to grow. And also to our Ate Grace Mayo po, also I am grateful that I am closely working with her before. Also through her, I was able to also learn PR activities. And I believe those things were part also of the inner enlightenment that I received. And yes, of course, to our true parents, without our true parents' teaching, I believe that even though all other religions like Buddha or Confucius, they taught us like how to meditate and these kind of things to achieve like nirvana or the highest enlightenment in Buddhism. However, I believe without our true parents' teachings, we will never really be directed to the kind of path that we are taking right now. And for me, that's very important. And also, it has paved the way that we could be able to receive salvation, not only salvation for ourselves, but also salvation for all people, that really all of us can go back to Heavenly Parents' bosom. And yes, because of the teachings of our two parents, we were able to endure and we were able to overcome despite all the situations or despite all the circumstances that we are facing. And I guess me, I'm still very young, and I know that I still had a lot of things to experience, and also I still need to endure a lot of things also along the way. However, I have faith that through our true parents' guidance, using our leaders as an instrument, I could be able to endure and overcome. And of course, also with our own portion of responsibility. I believe through also our own portion of responsibility, we could be able to really go on the way. Because of course, yes, it's true. Without uniting our mind and body, uh, we could never really achieve inner enlightenment, because if continuously we struggle, and yes, if there's the same like frequency, there's no like higher level between the two, then we could never really fight our limitations. So I guess for me, I'm still also working on that. I I know that I also have still a lot of limitations and weaknesses. However, through our continuous effort and also determination, especially in removing our fallen nature and also overcoming our limitations, we could be able to really reach the time wherein we will no longer struggle between mind and body, because it is natural or it has become a habit to us. And yes, also I know that me personally also, I have still a lot of limitations and lackings, and I also need to work on still on my inner self. Yeah, it's true. I was really moved. It's really very important to continuously offer Jongsong conditions and also devotion, because in my experience as well, if like I could not like really nurture my spiritual life, then really it is natural that we could really like easily feel down, and then we could not really determine that much. And I believe that really I have faith really that we are really people are really both spiritual. Uh, People are really spiritual in nature, and because of this nature, it is natural that we could feel down if we are not like we could not feed our spiritual self. And yes, it's very important guidance by our national leader this time to really keep reminding us, especially also for us in IYSP, we are not really our mission is not really on like very much internal side, unlike carp, because carp is really directly teaching the divine principle. For us, we are like making an environment for witnessing. So I believe that uh, since this is our nature of mission, we need to be more spiritual because we need this kind of strength and effort, especially that the kind of work that we are doing is not really that much like directly teaching the youth about the divine principle. However, this is our goal, how we can really bring them back through the effort of making environment for witnessing, how we can really bring them back to our heavenly parents' bosom. I guess that's all I can share. Thank you so much for.
Yes, thank you so much, Sister Nikki, for your sharing. Let us give our thank you clap to our Sister Nikki. Thank you so much, Nikki. Now, let's call from Cavite Center our brother Rudy. Yes, to share. He's also a former center leader, I think in Rojas, if I'm not mistaken. Let us give a hand to our brother Brody.
Morning po everyone, my dear elders, brothers and sisters, to our national leader GLA and Ate Alna, Ate Miki. So,
Kuya, make it louder po. Thank you po.
um, sa message po, sir, ay very thankful and grateful and still there are so much things to be done, so many relationships to sa ating talagang spiritual life na ma-experience natin for great realms of heart of love na to Father and to parents. Uh, let's do our best in our responsibilities and of course uh, restore more people back to God's bosom na mabilong din sa God's image. And thank you so much po sa lahat ng mga hard works, mga dear elders, blessed central families. Despite the pandemic, I hope na okay po kayong lahat. And uh, thank you so much. Until next time.
Yes, thank you so much, Kuya Brody, for sharing. Yes, thank you po. Now, yeah, thank you so much to all our elders, brothers and sisters who shared this morning. For our final message, let us welcome once again our national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Halog.
Thank you very much po. Thank you very much to our Ate Elna, Sister Nikki, and our brother Brody for sharing this morning. I'm really grateful for all brothers and sisters that we could share together this very precious guidance of our true parents. Really, we are looking forward to see our nation to be restored, and everybody is really trying their best, actually. But sometimes, in our prayers, we always, Heavenly Parents, please forgive me. I couldn't do my responsibility. We have many limitations. Then when I realized, really, that's why we need to go out from this. Of course, still we are very far. Continuously, we are finding ways so that later on when we pray, we will not always ask from forgiveness from heavenly parents, sorry from two parents, right? Of course, still we need to have that kind of attitude, but if we continue to improve every day, because really the key to be able to accomplish more is to be more free.
and have this, have mind and heart that always thinks of the bigger perspective, connecting directly to Heavenly Parent and to true parents. That's why today True Parents is teaching us what is the way to do this, so that we will not just be stuck on our own families, right? Because once we move forward and advance, naturally we will think of higher purpose. That's why if we are just always doing small things just on our own, on our families, really this is now the right time. Heavenly Parents is giving us the opportunity now to be able to go out from this and really think of the higher, and really think of Heavenly Parents and true parents. Once we move out from this isolation, Satan is trying to keep us. He doesn't want us to be free. That's why these two things today the True Father is teaching us, this is really important. Let's really try our best, do our best every day to advance, right? And then naturally, we can really become Heavenly Parents' children that, can really make them proud of our true parents and Heavenly Parents. That's why True Parents is guiding us step by step. Kaya nga po, tayo ron po ngayon, we have to really invest everything. And in this time period that everything is given to us, the entire spiritual world, our true mother is really investing everything. So tayo rin, once we invest everything, we can join in this, wave of heavenly fortune that is moving around now the world. We can, be elevated. We can be lifted up, right? And then we can develop closer relationship with Heavenly Parent. We can take more ownership. We can take more responsibility. And then one day, if we work together in our nation, there's no doubt we can restore our nation by 2027. There's no doubt about that. Everything is already with us, right? Kaya nga tayo na lang po talaga. We have to be more, determined to overcome any challenges and difficulties in our own life, in our own families, right? Aju, kaya po, no matter what, Heavenly Parents is always cheering up on us. Lahat po tayo, whenever we are facing challenges and difficulties, Heavenly Parents is always telling us. So we have to hear that voice coming from Heavenly Parent. You can do it. You have to continue, march forward. Aju, this is our Heavenly Parent. Yeah, anyway, we are really grateful to Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Let's really offer our gratitude to Heavenly Parents and True Parents for such a precious guidance today. So once again, I wish you all the best po ngayon. So please be victorious in our missions, our responsibilities, and really let's bring joy and happiness to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Thank you very much and God bless you po. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ML, for that message. May I request Tita L now for our closing prayer? Nakamute po kayo, Tita. Sorry po.
Okay, let us pray. Our most loving Heavenly Parents and True Parents, Heavenly Parents, Holy Community. Today, we're very grateful and thankful, Father and True Parents, for this divine words that we digest, Father and True Parents, in our daily lives. So we hope and pray, Heavenly Parents and True Parents, that we can be able, Father and True Parents, to fulfill all our responsibility in our daily lives. Thank you so much for all your guidance and protection, Heavenly Parents and True Parents, to all the Central Blessed families worldwide, Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Thank you so much that you can be able to enlighten us between all our minds and body unity, Father and True Parents, though we are not really perfect, Father and True Parents, in this universe. Whatever all our trials, Heavenly Parents, I hope and pray that we could be able to overcome, Father and True Parents. And to all the leaders, Heavenly Parents and True Parents, especially in my country, Philippines, I know that they can be able to bring success in front of Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Whatever their difficulties and challenges, Heavenly Parents, I know that we could be able to bring victory in front of Heavenly Parents and True Parents. My country is a second or third nation of Heavenly Parents and True Parents. I know that Heavenly Parents truly embrace my country to fulfill the goal, Heavenly Parents and true parents. But I know that the priority, Father and true parents, is the fatherland. To bring success this 2022, Heavenly Parents, we thank you for this victorious Heavenly Parents that we could really be able to accomplish, Father and true parents. And I hope and pray, Heavenly Parents, that my country will become a truly heavenly second nation, Heavenly Parents and true parents, to restore all the Filipino people, Father and true parents, whatever their behavior, whatever the ignorance of my country, I hope and pray that all the leaders and members there, Father, could really fulfill our goal in front of you, Father and true parents. And I hope and pray, Heavenly Parents, that whatever their problems financially, I hope and pray that you can be able to grant them. Heavenly Parents, thank you so much for all your guidance and protection, Father and true parents. And I truly care my country, Philippines, Father and true parents, that all the leaders are truly working hard, Heavenly Parents, in front, as the frontliner, Father and true parents. I hope and pray to become very victorious, Father and true parents. Before this 2027, I know that all of them can be able to bring success in front of you, Father and true parents. Thank you so much. And we are so really very lucky, Father, true parents, because of you, Father. And I'm so really grateful, Father, that I came here in Korea with nothing, Father and true parents, but because of you, Father, I bring success in my life, Father. Whatever my difficulties, whatever the pain that we experience, Father, I know that I am very grateful and thankful for everything, Father, because of you. And to all my sacrifices, Father and your parents, for the sake of us, and to help others, Father and your parents, I'm really grateful and thankful, Father. I'm not blaming myself, Heaven, Father and your parents, to support us financially. And even though sometimes it's really not easy for me, Father, but I truly try my best, Father and your parents, to help all our brothers and sisters, Father, and especially to my country, Philippines. And I pray to complete the restoration of my country, Philippines, not only for my country, but for the whole world, Father and your parents. So thank you so much, Heavenly Parents and your parents, Heavenly Parents, Holy Community. 감사합니다. 부모님, 참 부모님께 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. 축복, 주심 가정. Sangkwang Ilnape Coronado, and to all the Central Blessed families, Father and Troopers worldwide, Irumuro, Pogo, Arios Samnaida, Ju, Asamnida. I'm sorry.
Now let us offer our individual prayer. Let us offer our gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. 감사합니다, Heavenly Parent and true parents. Thank you to our national leader. Thank you so much to all our leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. Thank you for joining our morning devotion.
Thank you so much.
So much.